Namaste, beautiful. Welcome to Flying Pigeon class, Eka Pada Galavasana. Before we begin, I would like to remind you to please be warmed up in the wrists, the shoulders, the hamstrings, the butt, hips a little bit. If you got to this because you were taking one of my classes and you got to Flying Pigeon and I said, go over here if you want some tips on it, then I hope I would have warmed you up sufficiently by now. So in that case, you would not need to do more to warm up. Otherwise, I have an arm balance warm up here. You're fine to just do the body parts that I just mentioned. Also, if you want to just do a little bit for the wrists, basically you're going in all the directions, right? So you're going to be going forward, you can hold it for about a minute or two. Going backwards, holding it for about a minute or two. Having the hands down and going backwards, holding it about a minute or two. And then melting heart or puppy is a nice one for the shoulders. Going backwards and doing the shoulders in the other direction is also nice. And then crossing. And then as far as warming up the lower part of the body, doing half pigeon and holding it for about a minute or two will really prepare you for going into Eka Pada Galavasana, because it really feels much easier if we have already opened up those things. If they're tight, it's really hard to lift up the leg, and then it can feel frustrating, and it can feel sometimes like, oh, I can't do this, when actually maybe you just needed to stretch out a little bit more, open the body a little bit more. Right, so this arm balance in particular is very much a combination of using the strength and the flexibility of most of the body. Yeah, so we're really obviously using the strength of our arms, of our abs. We're also using the strength of our legs to hold them up, but it's really flexibility of the legs as well in order to get into that position. Yeah, so of course that's why it's an advanced posture. All right, so let's get into starting position. So let's start kind of standing on the right leg with the left ankle crossed over. And then we're going to take our hands down. And so we're hooking our foot really anywhere between the elbow and the shoulder. I find that it makes it easier to then get to the final expression of the pose if it's actually a bit higher on the arm. You can play with whatever feels better for you. So play with how it feels lower to the elbow, play with how it feels higher to the shoulder, and see what feels the best, including the other arm, right? So also lower to the shoulder, lower to the elbow with the left knee, higher to the shoulder with the left knee. Yeah, so first play with how it feels when right now we're just gonna lift the right foot up. We're not gonna then extend it up to the ceiling. So let's just see how that feels first. So hooking wherever it feels most comfortable, and then placing the left knee where it feels most comfortable. So maybe somewhere in between. Again, play with how it feels for you. And then we're leaning forward. So we're using the bending of the arms to help bring our chest forward. And then we're looking forward as well. So we want to have our gaze forward, not down, so that we can be using the head for balance as well. Yeah? And so let's lean forward, lean forward, lean forward until the right foot comes off of the floor. And then we have step one. Let's go ahead and try on the other side. So let's stand on the left foot here. Take the right foot cross it over the left knee, come down onto the hands, and bring the right knee over the right arm, the right foot over the left arm, using the foot to really hook, yeah? And again, finding where in between the elbow and the shoulder feels most comfortable for you when you're leaning forward, yeah? So basically, like, at what point on the arm does it feel easiest to then shift the balance to the hands, having the left foot up? And so really the first step is using the lean forward to almost automatically get the back leg to lift up versus trying to lift up the back leg. Yeah. So we're using the lean, same as crow pose, right? We're using the lean and then seeing when, I mean, really that's all arm balances, right? We're finding the balance in between the upper body and the lower body, right? And so in order to lift up the lower body, we have to bring down the upper body, right? Of course. All right. So now let's go ahead and come to our full expression and see how that feels. So again, let's stand onto the right leg, cross the left foot over the right knee, take the hands down to the floor, cross wherever feels most comfortable for you. I like it when I am going into the full expression. I really do like it to be up higher. I feel like it works better that way. So let's go ahead, lean, lift the foot, and then begin to lift it toward the butt first, lifting the knee up, and then straighten the leg, and be looking forward. And there we go. I feel like my knee was probably a little bit bent. I've done a lot of arm balances. Let's do it again. I'm gonna try to make it prettier, and also gives you another opportunity to do it. Yeah? All right, so when we begin to lift the foot up more, then kind of be lifting the knee first. So keeping the, all right, I'll try to say it again as I do it. So lift the foot first, yeah, so when it comes up, and then kind of lifting the knee, and then we're shifting even more forward. If you lose your balance, that's totally fine. So we're shifting even more forward, and then straightening the leg. Yeah. Woo! All right. Let's switch legs. Standing onto the left foot now. Taking the right foot over. Whew. Ankle injury. Did not enjoy that hooking. So hopefully this side does enjoy it. Okay. Hook. Hook it hard. Pull it hard. And lean. Yeah? So we're leaning. Lift the foot, and then lean even more. Begin to lift the foot up toward the ceiling, lifting the knee up, and then straightening the leg. Woo! Looking forward. And beautiful. Woo! So, of course, it's all, as with everything in yoga, particularly arm balances, it's all about finding your specific balance between the various parts of the body, in this case, between the upper body and the lower body. And so the more you're able to lean forward, the more you're able to bring your chest toward the floor, then the easier it's going to be to extend the leg up. And because when we're extending, right, then we're going to be wanting to lean forward more. another thing is that, right, so when we're moving one thing on this side, we also need to be moving the thing on the other side to be counterbalancing. Right, so when we first lift the foot, we're leaning. But then if it's going higher, then of course, right, like we're a seesaw. Right? All right. Woo! I had in my mind I'm going to do some more arm balances, so here I go. I'm going to try and do that, but you can continue working on this if you'd like, or you can do whatever you want, because it's your life, right? Anyway, if you have more questions, then you can ask me. Hopefully I can give you some answers to those questions. I can help guide you through this difficult pose. Keeping in mind it's difficult, right? I mean, I just almost fell out. I literally just almost fell on my face. And I've done this for years. So really be gentle on yourself as you're learning this new stuff, as you're learning this hard stuff. And really be trying also to, really be trying also to always be using what you learn in the practice, be using the effort that you put in, be using coming up after falling, all of it, and bringing it into your life. Yeah, particularly, well, no, I mean, really through all of it, through the beginner poses as well as the advanced poses, right? It helps us through different parts of life. Yeah, so maybe you've already gone through a lot of the stuff that is involved in getting crow pose, is involved in getting even half pigeon, right? And you've incorporated that into your life. And now we have more lessons to learn from the more advanced poses. Yeah, so always be taking that into consideration. And okay, I'm going to stop talking now. Thank you for being here, for allowing me to guide you with so much love. Namaste.